Hello students. So in this video we are going to discuss the last topic of the chapter, that is excretion. You know students that already you have read in your junior classes that there are five main components of food, that is carbohydrate, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals. And chemically they are made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. Carbohydrates and fats, when they are metabolized in our body, they generally release carbon dioxide and water as their waste or as a product. So basically, carbon dioxide is released from our body through our respiratory surface, as we have already studied in respiration topic. While water cannot be considered as a waste in our body, it is utilized in our body. But when we are talking about proteins, vitamins, they are also contain nitrogen along with carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. And nitrogen, when metabolized in our body, it gets converted into various nitrogenous compounds like ammonia, urea, uric acid, creatinine, etc. And these nitrogenous products need a well established system to throw out from our body, because they cannot be simply diffused out or thrown out from our body. So for that purpose we need a well established system which we call excretory system. And that is why particularly when we define excretion, so we always said that excretion is a process of removal of nitrogenous waste from our body. So it is my request that whenever you write the excretion definition, please mention the removal of nitrogenous waste, because here we are going to deal with that only, that how this nitrogenous waste is removed from our body. And these excretory material includes not only nitrogenous compounds or waste, it also includes some ions, salts and water. Now, the type of organisms which depend upon the type of waste they excrete. Now, children, first is ammonotelic organisms. Ammonotelic organisms are those which excrete ammonia. So, their nitrogenous waste is basically ammonia, NH3. And you know, ammonia is highly soluble in water. So, it can be easily diffused out from the body of these organisms and mixed with the water. So they are found in aquatic protozoans like amoeba, paramecium, sponges, coelentrates, and some kind of fishes. Second type of organisms are ureotelic organisms. They are basically found in terrestrial vertebrates, and in their case, as the name says, ureotelic, their excretory waste is urea. Because in our body, because ammonia is highly toxic, so they cannot remain in our body for long time. So by the time ammonia gets converted into urea with the help of liver, जितना भी अमोनिया हमारी बॉडी में बनता है वो तुरंत यूरिया में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, ताकि 6 to 8 आवर्स एटलीस्ट वो यूरिया अगर हमारी बॉडी में रहे तो कोई दिक्कत ना हो, बिकॉज यूरिया इज़ नॉन टॉक्सिक कंपैरेटिवली टू ammonia. That is why. So the examples are mammals, adult amphibians, marine fishes, turtles. Okay. And of course mammals are हैं तो humans तो हैं, so we are ureotelic. Basically we excrete urea. Then the third category is uricotelic. Uricotelic organisms are those which excrete uric acid. And because uric acid is basically found in those organisms which are facing acute water scarcity, so they to overcome this problem, these animals, they do not urinate, actually they excrete crystals of uric acid as a precipitate. So they are having some semi-solid paste kind of material they excrete, like in birds, many kind of reptiles, desert vertebrates, insects, etc. So these are three categories: ammonotelic, ureotelic and uricotelic organisms. Now come to the excretory system in different organisms. Now it's not like that all the organisms are having kidneys for this purpose. So different organisms are having different kind of excretory organs. So I can give you some examples, like in platyhelminthes, that is flatworms, flame cells are present. You have to only learn the names of these organs because they may ask in your exams like objective questions. Annelids, like earthworms, they have nephridia. Then prawns and crabs, these are crustaceans, so they have green glands. While in cockroaches, they have Malpighian tubules. So these names you have to learn. Now, when come to humans, our excretory system contains a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, a urinary bladder, and urethra, as you can see the picture also. And this diagram you are drawing since your childhood in your junior classes. So you must have seen in this particular diagram we are having a pair of kidneys, and this kidney is about, it's a bean shaped structure, and it is about 10 centimeter in length, 5 centimeter in breadth, and 3 centimeter in thickness, and it weighs around 125 to 170 grams. And these kidneys are contain a functional unit that is called nephrons, and they are also called uriniferous tubules. Okay, and filtering unit you can say, and in each kidney around 1.2 million nephrons are present. In detail we are going to learn about nephrons later. Then come to a long tubular structure called, which arises from each kidney, that is called ureter, and it carries urine to the urinary bladder. Then you can see the structure of urinary bladder. It's again a bag like a pear shaped muscular structure which serves to store urine temporarily. So, temporarily, urine is going to store here. And last is urethra. It's again a tubular structure which passes the urine outside the body. So, this is our excretory system, and here you can see renal artery and renal vein. Artery is again bringing the purified blood, and vein is again bringing the impure blood, you can see. So their function is the same. We have already read about arteries and veins because they are dealing here, they are connected with kidneys, so here the word renal comes attached with them. And one more thing you must have noticed, that one kidney is slightly lower than the other. What is the reason behind that? The right kidney is slightly lower than the left one. The reason is because of the location of liver, because liver is a quite large part of our body, and that is why the right kidney is slightly displaced than the left one. So this is just for your knowledge. Then come to the next type, that is, now we are going to discuss about the how urine formation takes place.